Now, I make no secret of being a huge Spectrum fan, but back in the days, I've said this before, I'm so boring, magazines were our only window into the gaming world, and that's why magazines in the UK thrived. It's pre-internet, there's no release dates, I've said that before as well, no release dates for any games. All you had was the information you found in magazines. And on the Spectrum, I was a Spectrum fan, a Spectrum devotee. Crash was the magazine, really. Actually started as a mail order catalogue. Before issue 1 of Crash, it's a bit like the Retrogames magazine. We started as a magazine, and then at the back we listed games for sale, and then slowly the games for sale bit took over and killed the magazine. But the other way around for them, they were a mail order company. They were selling games in a brochure, in a catalogue they used to send out. And then people wanted to know more about the games, so they started writing bits in the catalogue about the games, and then Crash was born. Now, Ollie Frey, obviously one of the founders of Newsfield, who created Crash, and I just, you know, we've lost a lot of people. It's a bit of a sad fact, being a retro gamer, we are losing loads of really special people. Bob Wakelin, a little while ago, you know, his artwork, it's my childhood. I mean, these are embedded in our childhoods, and we all remember the things from when we were kids far better than we remember anything now. And I know you'll all agree with that.
Born in Switzerland in 1968, Oliver Frey moved to London in the early 1970s, where he studied film and worked as a freelance illustrator. Having worked on over 70 publications in the preceding years, it wasn't until 1984 and the birth of Crash and Zap that his trademark art style found a deserving audience. Newsfield, founded along with his brother Franco and partner Roger Keane, would go on to create an unlucky 13 magazine titles before their demise in 1991. Ollie's art can be seen on the covers of Sega Force and Classic Games releases on Newsfield's ill-fated Thalamus label. Born from a time when sexual freedom could never be taken for granted, Ollie continually created gay sexual images throughout his career. That raw intensity, as seen in his game covers, was reworked to capture the thrill of unspoken passion. Ollie was still creating magnificent artwork until the end, creating 3 Crash annuals for a hungry retro audience. Sadly, after battling hard with cancer, Ollie left us before the full Crash rebirth could take place.
Now, I used to go to get Crash in a shop 2 miles away because it came out 1 day earlier. That's how desperate I was. And I would not even get home to start reading it. I would find the nearest park bench and I would sit there and I would read the thing cover to cover till it got dark, and then I'd have to go home. Oh, should have gone home. Brilliant. I mean, brilliant days. And the covers, it was an excitement. I mean, you looked at the shelf. I don't know if this is just me, but you'd go into WH Smith's when you were young, and your favourite magazine, Crash, Zap, you know, even other magazines. Amtix. Let's not talk about that. You'd look at the covers, and then if you saw that cover's different, and you'd run straight for the mag and just, oh my god, look at the cover of this. The covers actually meant a lot because they were the differentiator between which issue was newest. And there was no covers as nice as Ollie Frey's. And here I have Crash. I've got a few Crash magazines. I've not got any Zaps. I did buy Zap 2 later on, but my real passion for Ollie Frey's art was from the Crash covers. And now this is issue 1, and yes, you're all jealous because I have got a very beautiful example of Crash issue 1. And this image, I mean, it's been on the front of Retro Gamer. It's synonymous with, because it's the first one, it's synonymous with it. I mean, he's got Space Invaders in his eyes. I mean, you don't really think about it, do you? He's a monster holding a joystick with Space Invaders in his eyes. I'm guessing they're not screens. I think they're. I think that's meant to be a very detailed reflection, though. They do look like CRT screens. I mean, super retro, super cool, super exciting. I saw this in the shops in, when was it? In 1984. and I thought, I'm buying that magazine. I don't even know what it's about, because it doesn't really flash. It's not obvious it's a games mag, but then, of course, you had to read the words. Something you didn't do much as a kid. And the magazine, I mean, there's not a lot of Ollie Frey work in here. I mean, he always does these little cutouts for the different sections. And they were sort of reused on a weekly basis. And the first issue of Crash, oh look at that, there's a review there of Death Chase. Death Chase, the bikes never fire back. Really is black and white. It's all black and white until you get to an ultimate advert there. Classic. Let's see. Oh yeah, you see like that. All these handwritten, hand drawn. He would embellish all the pages, all the review pages like that. There's a big frog. I mean, the guy must have worked so hard. I mean, I'll be honest. Okay, Retrogames magazine was pretty low-key, pretty pathetic production-wise, but it was a lot of work. Can you imagine doing all these drawings just to go around the text? And they're all going to be hand done, aren't they? And there's no repeats. They're incredible, really. Like even chess. He's got some chess there. You've got some. Oh, get the right place. Got some chess. Little people being squashed by chess. I remember this first issue. They really went through loads and loads of games. And look, oh look, there's a proper one of his. I think that's a cover later. So he obviously had some in the bank for issue 1. Look, I mean, actually. What am I saying? This magazine is peppered with Ollie Frey. I mean, it's the whole thing. It wasn't just the covers, was it? Look, it's everywhere. Every page I turn, there's more Ollie Frey. Again. Let's see. Next one. Oh, no. Now that is typical. Yeah, we're in a review section, but, you know, I wonder whether... did we ever notice... Did you ever notice reading in this review for Bite by CCS? He's done his own little interpretation of the gameplay. Incredible. Let's have a look at some other issues. Anyway, so I've got the first few here because I'm just showing off. Look at them. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, I bet you wish this was in stock. It's not. Leave it alone. Issue 2 of Crash. Beautiful again. Donkey Kong cover. Eating a Spectrum. I mean, Donkey Kong eating a Spectrum. Incredible, incredible. I mean, it could be any gorilla, it could be King Kong, but I like to call him Donkey Kong. Habit. Is this issue 3? Yeah, that one's a bit dull, isn't it? That's a bit dull. We've gone to issue 4. What Now? That classic What Now cover, like a zombie, and he's look where his face is. Look at his mouth, off centre. I mean, creepy, isn't he? He genuinely had a skill to create really creepy, visceral images that just stayed with you. I mean, as a kid, I mean, you can't compare this picture to the quality of the games, but they brought the games to life. You know, seeing these images, these pictures, you just think, oh, that's boosted my imagination, so that when I play this awful black and white colour clash lump of turd, I'm thinking, oh no, I really am. I'm in this dungeon and there's a guy with a sword and there's a head on a stick and it's incredible. I don't want to overestimate what Ollie Frey did for me as a Spectrum gamer, but I definitely think he made some games far more bearable than they really were. That'll do.